the moment she was drugged, has now been released. If not for the family's fight, this may have been brushed off as a case of cardiac arrest. The family is seeking a CBI investigation. They may seek a CBI investigation. Big provocation by China near the LAC. Video accessed by Republic shows construction by PLA troops on their side of the border. The Aam Aadmi Party versus BJP face-off continues, protests continue, questions continue, the press conferences continue over the scams, Schoolgate after Liquorgate in Delhi. Staring at disqualification, Hemant Soren moves all his MLAs to a resort. They're out boating, they're doing everything possible, they're trying to save their flock, amid reports that over 15 MLAs are missing now. And countdown to the big demolition on Sunday. The Noida Twin Towers, the towers of corruption, will be demolished on Sunday. That's at 2:30 p.m. Republic TV is live. Thank you for joining us on The Burning Question. Ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesday morning, the body of Sonali Phogat, a BJP leader, was found at a hotel in Goa. For few days, her family kept fighting, asking for the police to add a case of murder, sections of murder, and eventually over 48 hours after she was found murdered, that charge was added, and more details continue to tumble out. In fact, 5 days after her body was found, today, we're getting in more news that drugs used or drugs procured as part of this murder plot was found from the club where she was poisoned/drugged. This is 5 days after she was found dead. And those questions continue to rise, more details continue to emerge, but the burning question that Republic TV is asking tonight at 9 p.m. is, why did everybody try to peddle a suicide, a cardiac arrest theory for over 2 to 3 days? Here's the story so far, and then the debate.
Sensational developments in Sonali Phogat's death case have emerged after 2 aides confessed to drugging her hours before she died, while Sukhwinder Singh and Sudhir Sangwan have been sent to 10 days police custody. The police have now arrested Edwin Nunes, owner of Curly's Beach Shack in Anjana, and also a suspected drug supplier, Datta Prasad Kaunkar. Upon interrogation, Datta Prasad revealed another drug peddler, Rama, who was also involved. He has now been arrested, taking the total arrests in the case to 5.
Sudhir Sangwan, which was ultimately administered to the deceased, and the second case has been registered against the premises of the shack, and we recovered a small amount of drug from the toilet. A case under NDPS Act has also been registered, and both of them have been taken into custody.
According to the police, they recovered narcotic substance from a toilet allegedly kept by one of the accused, Sudhir Sangwan.
ये वही रेस्टोरेंट है और लगातार रिपब्लिक टीवी, रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क जो सीसीटीवी दिखा रहा है, जिसमें सोनाली फोगाट जो है वो लड़खड़ाती हुई नशे में नजर आ रही है, जिसमें सुधीर सांगवान जो है वो उसको सहारा दे रहा है, वो इतनी लड़खड़ा रही है कि वो चल भी नहीं पा रही। ये वही जगह है जहां से वो चलती हुई सीधे टॉयलेट की तरफ जा रही है।
Republic TV has now accessed critical evidence, an audio tape which her PA Sudhir Sangwan was caught lying to her family members after she was killed.
हेलो, सचिन बोल रहा हूँ जी।
हाँ सचिन,
कहाँ वहीं हो क्या अभी?
हाँ गोवा मुंबई।
अच्छा, तो पोस्टमार्टम वगैरह क्या कुछ चल रहा है?
देखो शाम को होएगा, कल होएगा।
अच्छा शाम को या कल होगा, तो ऐसे कैसे हो गया ये?
पता नहीं भाई कैसे हुआ, मेरे तो समझ में नहीं आ रही।
अच्छा तो आप वहीं थे क्या, पास ही साथ ही?
और क्या, रात तो सारी रात तो राजी खुशी बतलाए हैं। ठीक है।
अच्छा
और फिर सुबह 7-7:30 बजे की बात है, मैं 5 से 7 मिनट के लिए कमरे के बाहर गया था, इतनी देर में हो गया।
Republic TV also accessed the CCTV footage of how the accused Sudhir Sangwan clearly forced Sonali to drink the MDMA-laced drink at Curly's club. As more visuals emerged showing how she struggled to maintain her balance, Sonali Phogat was taken to her room at the Grand Leone Hotel instead of a hospital as she wasn't feeling well. It has been learned that she was taken in a private vehicle to St. Anthony's Hospital in Anjuna, where she was declared dead.
Both the other accused, that is the owner of Curly's, Edwin Nunes, and the drug peddler, they are yet to be produced before the court. So moreover, they will seek, the Goa police is going to produce both of them before the court tomorrow is what we have been told, and the custody is going to seek. But today, where Sudhir Sangwan and Sukhwinder Singh, who were produced before the court today, court has already sent them to the police custody for the 10 days.
As evidence mounts, does it show a larger cover-up? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
I'm going to go straight to my colleague Amandeep before I go across to our panelists on the burning question this evening. Amandeep is live from the residence of the Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. Sonali Phogat's family has just arrived there. Speculation over whether they will seek a CBI investigation. Is that going to happen? Amandeep.
Well, absolutely. This is the only demand that family has came with here at Haryana Chief Minister's residence, and in fact they are demanding to transfer this case to CBI just because now this stuck into the jurisdiction of Goa, and in fact the family is smelling a larger conspiracy behind the murder of Sonali Phogat, and family including daughter, sister, 2 brothers and brother-in-law. They all 5 are here to meet Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar with one single demand, just because the similar demand has been raised before the Goa police as well as the Goa government also, that this case is not stuck to 2 arrests, and in fact there is a larger conspiracy behind this entire murder of Sonali Phogat, and that conspiracy should be exposed, and that is the reason. Though Haryana Chief Minister has already spoken to the Goa Chief Minister regarding the case, but now it might be a formal communication that Haryana Chief Minister might write a letter to Goa Chief Minister with a request to hand over this case to the CBI, just because the family is having only single demand: justice to the family, and even hand over this entire case to CBI. Though Haryana Home Secretary has already arrived here before the family arrives, and in fact that is a clear-cut indication that Haryana Chief Minister is taking all kind of advice that what the Haryana government and Haryana police can do and how they can intervene into this entire case. But let's wait and watch, just because the family has just entered at the residence of Haryana Chief Minister and meeting has just begun, and in fact the family has one demand, and what would be the response of Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar to the query of the family, and in fact either he will write to the centre for the CBI investigation, or Manohar Lal Khattar will request to the Goa counterpart to hand over this case to the Central Bureau of Investigation, so that the entire truth and entire conspiracy should be revealed. Yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. In fact, those questions continue to remain. They continue to remain, and we have more questions actually today after we heard that audio tape, and then there was a video that emerged 5 days after she was found dead, perhaps murdered. Let me introduce our panelists this evening. Raman Malik, leader of the BJP, joining us live from Delhi. Mamta Kale, political analyst, joining us live from Delhi. Savio Rodriguez, chief editor, Goa Chronicle, joining us live from Goa. Francisco Sardinia, who's a parliamentarian of the Congress party, joining us live from Goa this evening, along with Vijay Sardesai, former Deputy Chief Minister of Goa, MLA President of the Goa Forward Party. Let me start with Mr. Francisco Sardinia. Mr. Francisco, the video that has emerged today, and it's come 5 days after she was found dead, and perhaps murdered, going by what the police has finally said on Thursday, they were forced to add that charge. The video shows clearly, and let me play that video for our viewers as I ask my question to the parliamentarian of the Congress party. I want to play that video. And in this video, it can't get more evident than this. This is the proof that she was poisoned, perhaps. In this video, she's dancing. Sudhir Sangwan, who is her PA, or rather was a PA, he's forcing that liquid down her throat. She's dancing and suddenly, and she's taken aback. You can see that she's sort of taken aback and she's forced to guzzle whatever it was. Now, we don't know whether she was into drugs. We don't know anything about her. But this video is extremely, extremely significant. It's clear. It can't be clearer than this. Now, if this video was available, if the body was found on Tuesday morning, the question is, why did it take them until Thursday evening of Friday actually? Why did it take the police until Friday to finally acknowledge that something like this happened? I'm sure the investigators would have gone through the CCTV. It would have been available to them, isn't it? Mr. Francisco.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate that such a thing happened in Goa. And some of the authorities said it was heart attack without establishing the facts, what you are showing now. They should have waited, and only then they should have established and made a statement. How can an authority say before getting all the reports that it is heart attack? So that's why I am also of the opinion that the investigation should be handed over to CBI.
But there is a view, Mr. Francisco,
to this.
That, yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, okay, complete your point. Complete your point, sir, complete your point.
So do justice, and for the relations also to accept this should be given to CBI so that there is no partisan effect in this case. It should be neutral, and only CBI can do this job for the sake of neutrality.
I'm not so sure. Sir, the family believes, Mr. Francisco, the family believes that there is a lot more that has not been uncovered in this case, right? Let me bring in Vijay Sardesai as well. Vijay Sardesai and Raman Malik. I'll start with Raman Malik and Vijay Sardesai, and then we can open this up. Mr. Sardesai, the family even now, in fact, we've been hearing from, I wouldn't say everybody in the BJP, but some in the BJP that the family is convinced, etc., but they're not. They're saying there's much more to this. Even today, in fact, Tuesday the body is found. Wednesday they write a letter saying that she was being poisoned, right? Audio recordings were available. The CCTV was available, I'm sure, on Tuesday. So why is it that until Thursday evening there was no charge of murder added, nothing of the sort mentioned? Cardiac arrest was the prevalent theory until Thursday evening. Now this video comes out today, and if this video was available on Tuesday, it's crystal clear. And the family is saying even now something is being hidden. Vijay Sardesai.
See, the fact of the matter is that on 23rd at 4:27 a.m., CCTV shows that she was at Curly's. Curly's is not a library. It is a infamous bar. And at 8 a.m., there is a breaking news on the national media about her death. Immediately afterwards, it's not an authority, but the Chief Minister of Goa, none other than the Chief Minister of Goa, who says it's a cardiac arrest. Police, although they have registered a case of unnatural death, they are quiet because the signals emanating from the Chief Minister, even subsequent after 24th August, a cabinet meeting is held, he repeats that it's a cardiac arrest. On 25th August, the post-mortem reveals that there are blunt injuries found. Also, subsequent reports emanate that it is MDMA, which is ecstasy, that was added in. And she was staying at the Grand Leone resort at Bagator, which suddenly goes in for renovation. A 4 or 5 year-old resort doesn't go for renovation in Goa, but this goes. I'm not convinced that the Goa police does not know their job. The Goa police knows their job. but they are getting clear-cut signals from the chief
Yesterday
minister.
when we were there,
who's
Mr.
also the
Sardesai,
Home
we were
Minister.
told, and in fact we were reporting, I'm adding to what you're saying, we were there, we were reporting from there.
Yeah.
Some of them who were working / living there, close to that hotel, said the hotel was completely fine and the renovation is happening now. Okay?
Yes.
But there are
No-
some who want
no-
us to believe
no
that the
hotel
renovation
goes
is
for
happening for a
renovation.
long time. Why would they do that?
No, and if the renovation was happening, how could they accept guests? Renovation and accepting guests don't happen simultaneously. So there is a clear there is an attempt to hush up this case, and the attempt begins from the chief minister himself. That when the internet was abuzz with reports of foul play, the chief minister went and jumped the gun and said it was the cardiac arrest. So this is a reflection of the sad state of affairs that is happening in Goa. Drugs are being sold with political patronage and with bribery, and this government has also gone on record in the past for having wanted to legalize marijuana, which is ganja. Only after we did an issue, they actually withdrew. A recent incident where a Hyderabad student has died of drug overdose. Police have traced the origins of the drugs to Goa. So Goa has become a heaven for drug peddlers. Peddlers are caught, but the supply chain is not affected because supply chain has got political backing, has got bribed, but they bribe the people in power. And unfortunately, even the Women Commission is silent when there are crimes happening against women. And unfortunate that the crime has happened this time against the ruling party's own leader. Earlier, the tourists used to pop dead in Goa, and we got a bad name. Today, the diaspora is asking me, how come the ruling party's own members are dying and the Women Commission is silent? The ruling party's leadership, the woman leadership is silent. And the chief minister a few days ago was lecturing the media. I'm thankful that the Republic TV is taking up this issue, because the chief minister a few days ago has lectured the media not to give coverage for negative image. So he has been pressurizing the police, he's pressurizing the media, and my only question is, why should the chief minister not be investigated now? And who is going to investigate him? Do you think the CBI is going to interrogate a sitting home minister of a state, that to a ruling party state? So the only demand now from my side is that the chief minister should at least step down as the home minister of the state. Without this, there cannot be a free and a fair probe into this. This hushing up and the cover up will continue. Each day you will get new CCTV footage. All this footage was available. It was in the domain, and the police knew the protocol how to investigate. They have been intentionally not investigating because they have got direction from the chief minister through public statement that this is a cardiac arrest, which is not a significant crime. Although they said it's an unnatural death, they did not look into the aspect of murder. And now that the murder is registered, now new cases are being registered. I'm feeling that the family is justified in demanding a CBI probe. A CBI probe that the family is demanding is showing lack of faith in the leadership of Goa, which is ruled by the BJP and the chief minister and the home minister.
Can I get in? Let me get in Savio and Raman Malik. Let me get in Savio first, because Savio also has questions. In fact, Savio has affiliations to the BJP, but he's a journalist, but he also has questions. As a journalist, Savio, look at the sequence of events. I mean, as a journalist, you have a statement made saying it could be a case of cardiac arrest, and then the murder charge is added much later. The family even now says there are questions, and the CCTV comes out now, and if the CCTV was available, why was a suspicion not raised? Why was a question not raised? Why were arrests not made earlier? Savio, what's your sense?
Yeah. Niranjan, let me put the points out in the order that I think is appropriate. Firstly, I don't believe in getting into the political aspects of the case, because this is a death of a lady, and we have to respect that aspect. So politics around death, I don't play. So number one, I have said it yesterday on your channel, this game began in Haryana, but the goal to this game was scored in Goa, which means anything to do with this case, the genesis of it is in Haryana, number one. Number two, sex, drugs and rave are the core elements that led to the death of Sonali Phogat. Sex, drugs and rave. And that's very important. Therefore, the truth lies with Sudhir Sangwan and Sukhwinder. If we are able to get the truth out of them, the bigger story that the family is alleging will come out from these two gentlemen who have been arrested. Now, coming to the most important aspect is the nature of drugs in Goa. And that, unfortunately, is the reason why Goa has been getting a bad name time and again. Now, Curly's is a club that was involved in the 2008 infamous case of the Scarlet killing, which is almost similar in nature, and which was disastrous for Goa as a tourist destination. So drugs is there in Goa, and anybody who says drugs are not available in Goa needs to take a serious look at the cases that are emerging out of Goa as far as the usage of synthetic drugs are concerned. Now, having said that, I cannot give you a reason as to why the Chief Minister made the statement that he made as far as cardiac arrest is concerned. I cannot even say why the police said it, because I really am not privy to the information that they had. But what I would definitely say is that at this point of time, the most important thing for us to do is get down to the bottom of the case and to find the truth behind the case. That's point one. Point number two, if there are, as alleged by the family and as alleged by certain opposition leaders, the element of a cover-up, either by the police or by people within the government, then at that point of time, that becomes the second point of investigation. But primary, we have to get to the root cause of the death behind Sonali Phogat. Now, importantly, what we also need to work on, and I know Vijay is online as well as Mr. Sadina, they both will vouch for a very simple fact, and even BJP leaders, that we've got an issue as far as drugs is concerned. And people coming from outside of Goa tend to think that the place of Goa is about sex, drugs and rave. Let me say that to you, it's not about it. Just because you go to a Curly's or a Shiva Valley or any other resort over there, which allegedly sells drugs, which has now come true as far as Curly's is concerned, that does not mean the whole of Goa is about drugs. You come here wanting for a party life and you end up giving Goa a bad name. And what happened here is what I'm saying again. This was what originated in Haryana. Why was she brought here? Why was she led here? Why is investigation not gone to that stage? And the family asking for the CBI, they are within their right to ask. Opposition for asking for CBI is within their right to ask. Is the Goa police not competent? I think the Goa police is very competent. They need to be able to do their job in the manner in which this investigation is progressing. It came a little late. We have to investigate why the police got more aggressive post the post-mortem, post the family raising issues, post the media taking up. Those are answers that the Goa police must give. But the most important thing right now is for us to get to the truth behind the death of Sonali Phogat.
Yeah, agree with you. Completely agree with you. And thank you for putting the story in perspective as well. Raman Malik, the family is not convinced. You know, they're meeting the Chief Minister right now. Savio had a very, very valid point that, you know, the truth maybe, or the story starts in Haryana. Is there a sense of discomfort also somewhere about something else emerging, possibly in this case?
Well, we are, wanting
that the 15-year-old girl, Jashoda, gets justice and a closure. That is the most important thing. Those who are trying to do politics on this, trying to hit on the Goa CM, trying to hit on Mr. Manohar Lal, the Haryana CM, they are showing their shallow intent and shallow characteristic. But let me just come to this particular point. The question here should be, are FIRs, are proper investigation being conducted? Are the places in question being locked? Even if that particular resort that you're talking about is under renovation, when did it start, and all those things have to be ascertained. But are that L14 or 13 and L23 locked under possession of the cops? Those are important questions. The important question is also
live from there, Raman Malik.
Regular FI.
Raman Malik, you're reporting live from there. My reporter was there. That room is being renovated.
No. I will not accept it. I have been very patiently listening to everybody. Let me answer at least. Extend me that courtesy. My whole point is that we are aware of the fact that there have been number of arrests happening from various chains going one up, one up, one up. Whether they were the drug peddlers or somebody above the drug peddlers. The investigation and the procedures are going on. Till such time that the police does not file a charge sheet which details everything, till such time, I think saying that the investigation is not happening or questioning them right now is not the correct time. But yes, standing with the family is very important, which we are. At the same point, if the family needs, we will be very, very potently looking into this matter, and at the highest level, from Chief Minister to Chief Minister, from Home Department to Home Department, from Party President to the Party President, there is a communication which is clearly towards getting Sonali Phogat justice, Yashoda Phogat justice, and justice should be served at any cost, immaterial whose name, who, what person, what is the story behind it, it does not matter. But justice has to be served. And that is what we are standing for.
No, but you look at the facts, sir. You look at the facts. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's anybody watching the story knows that, you know, obviously there was another theory that was being peddled. Mamta Kale, when you watched the story, of course you want justice as well. But anybody, you know, you've been very active during the Sushant case, right? Even in the Sushant case, there was a sequence over which people raised questions. Like in the Sunanda case, rightfully, right? And there are so many glaring evidences which were perhaps overlooked. I mean, is you think that there is a fear that more powerful names would emerge if they get deeper? That's the sense that we are getting.
Thank you, Niranjan. First of all, I just want to make one thing very clear, that I am participating in this debate as in an individual capacity, supporting a woman who's no more, who has been killed under mysterious circumstances pretty brutally. As far as the whole case is concerned, if I talk about Sushant's case, you know, we really kind of can't compare these two cases, because in Sushant's case, all of us, including you, we screamed our lungs out. We were pleading with folded hands with the then government of Maharashtra to file at least an FIR. You know, they just didn't file an FIR. There was an inquiry done, and I haven't heard in my life a government doing an inquiry in a mysterious death. But in this case, and I am only stating the facts, Niranjan, because I want justice for Sonali Phogat, and I really want her 15-year-old daughter to get closure, and she deserves to know as to why, how, and who killed her mother. You know, and if there is a larger conspiracy behind it, if there are more names and people into this case who have, hashed this whole conspiracy, then definitely everyone should be arrested and everybody's name should come out. Point number one. Point number two, in this case, on 23rd, we got to know about the untimely and sad demise demise of Sonali Phogat. And the same evening, the whole family was flown in from Hisar to Goa. Wednesday, the brother gave a formal written complaint, and Thursday, two of the suspect and accused were actually charged with 302. So in this case, I would say hats off to Goa police, who actually took very, very corrective actions, and they were proactive and they were with the family. So I really cannot compare this case with Sushant Singh Rajput's case. But yes, I would choose to stand with the family. Family has been raising the doubts and the questions on PA Sangwan, and they have been saying that no, it can't be a cardiac arrest, and she has been killed, she has been murdered. And you know, as the story is unfolding, and I just saw on your channel only just now on my screen that 3-4 drug peddlers have been arrested, and you know, these visuals are painful to see where Sonali was kind of overpowered by this guy, her PA, and he was forcing her to drink whatever, whether it was MDMA or something else, any kind of a synthetic drugs. So yes, there are two aspects to it. A, how and who gave drugs to this guy, and what was the intention behind it? Is it a plain and clear-cut case of only property which has been raised by the family, or is there a larger conspiracy? So even I want to know the entire story, entire mystery behind Sonali Phogat's case. I also want to state one more thing very clearly, being a woman, that it will be great if we don't politicize this whole issue, and if we should only be looking at a powerful woman, an individual killed so brutally and so badly. So I think we all should be asking for justice for Sonali Phogat instead of saying no, she was from A particular political party, B particular political party. And I completely agree with Savio that if at all there are more names or more people behind it, then the root is in Hisar, probably is in Haryana. So yes, that has to be found out. And I also want to say, and I want to appreciate here the Chief Minister of Haryana, who has been standing by and supporting the family, and who said that if the family will ask us for CBI investigation, we will do so. I wish Sushant and his family had such a support from the then Home Minister or Chief Minister and CP of Mumbai. And all of us have seen that what the family had gone through, and all of us who were asking or seeking justice had gone through. Niranjan.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you. I just want to make one point, and then I'll end by asking my last question to Mr. Francisco Sardina. She was a BJP leader. She's contested on a BJP ticket, and the kind of I dare say muted responses and the manner in which the story has been dealt with. Yes, Vijay, you want to say something?
Yes, of course.
It's been muted. If someone was found dead under mysterious circumstances, there was a lull for about 48 hours. Everybody wanted to believe this cardiac arrest theory until the family actually came out. And you know what? Our reporter, I'll tell you one more thing. Our reporter from Republic Bharat, I still remember, was outside that hall where that postmortem was being conducted, and that's when we broke the story of the family asking, the family had the previous day, Wednesday, they had asked, and the family had said she was being poisoned. She told us she was being poisoned, and there are clips. Today we played out that audio clip. If there was an audio tape available on Tuesday, if the family had written a letter on Wednesday, right, for 48 hours, how did nobody raise any questions? Vijay, how did nobody raise any questions? Even the BJP in Haryana almost was ready to believe that it was a case of cardiac arrest.
See, the first thing is, I agree with what Savio says. It is a matter of sex, death and rape. But where? In Haryana or in Goa? It is in Goa that the focus is, because the death has occurred in Goa. The demand for CBI inquiry...
I put Savio on the left. Yeah.
The demand for CBI inquiry means that there is collusion happening with the murderers in Goa. The murderers are being shielded, and they are being shielded from the Chief Minister's side, because he is making... I am not politicizing this. He has made the statement. Nobody forced him to make the statement. And I think there should be no comparison between two cases. This is the truth is just getting unraveled every day in and day out. The police, the Chief Minister said that the police has been given freedom. What does he mean by it? Does he mean that they were not given freedom till then? So it means that the police knew what was happening, but the police did not react because they were told not to react. They were told not to register those cases. Don't try to cover up for the Goa CM. The Goa CM has repeated this statement twice of a cardiac arrest. When there is a murder, when there is an unnatural death, how can you say cardiac arrest? And the investigating officer even was changed after 302 was.
He spoke on Wednesday, if I'm not wrong. He spoke on Wednesday, right, Vijay? Vijay, he spoke on Wednesday, right? The Chief Minister spoke on Wednesday.
I respond to that,
He spoke on Tuesday and repeated it on Wednesday.
No, I remember, Vijay. I remember hearing him say on Wednesday that it could be a case of cardiac arrest.
See, there is one more similar case of a Goan
Can
poor
I
girl.
respond to
called
Vijay?
Siddhi
You
Naik.
can, you can. Samuel, you can
She
after
was
it's done. You
found
can.
topless, and the chief minister then said that this is a case of drowning.
Vijay, 1 minute.
Subsequently, it was registered as a murder case. So, chief minister is in the habit of jumping the gun and covering up for crimes, and these crimes are happening day in and day out.
Samuel.
Earlier, the tourists were dying. Now, the Goan diaspora is asking the ruling party's own leaders are dying.
Vijay,
and nothing is
Vijay, can I
happening in
ask you
Goa.
a question,
so what
Vijay?
Are you trying to say?
Vijay,
the center
Vijay.
should intervene. They are talking about basic
Vijay, 30
bachao.
seconds.
When they talk
Vijay,
about
30
basic bachao,
seconds.
They should make him step down as home minister.
Vijay,
Otherwise,
can
there will be
I
no free
interject
and
for
fair
a minute,
vote.
please?
Yes.
Can I interject for a minute?
Yes, Savio.
Vijay, in this entire section of information that you've dished out in the last 30 seconds, can I ask you one pertinent question in this entire thing? Okay? What is more important? Getting down to the bottom of the death behind Sonali Phogat first? Or is it finding out whether there was a cover-up more important? Out of these two, which according to you must be priority number one?
How will you investigate that when the boss who is sitting there is giving directions to the police not to investigate? How will you give them justice, the 15-year-old girl justice? These are only statements you are making.
But in that case, Vijay, in that case, you are demanding for it to go to CBI. You're demanding for the case to go to CBI. Is it not the CBI also under the BJP government? Then the opposition will say that now it's the BJP government interfering in that.
Are you telling me that CBI is going to...
I'm asking you a simple question, Vijay. The government at the center is also BJP. Once it goes to CBI, you will have opposition outside of Goa saying that BJP at the center is influencing CBI then.
When you are holding a position of
Wouldn't
power,
that be the allegations then?
Interrogate you have yourself said that the roots are in Hisar. There are many businesses.
Well, then that's the fallacy of the law in the country. That's the fallacy of the law in the country.
Connected to the chief minister.
That's the fallacy of the law in the country. If a sitting minister cannot be interrogated, that's the fallacy of the law in the country.
When there is a home minister.
Correct. So that's the fallacy of the law. There is a fallacy of the law. That's what you're agreeing with me, Vijay.
Okay, I have to go to the next debate. Vijay and Savio, I have to go to the next debate, but I get a sense that this story is going to continue. More facts are going to come out. Mr. Francisco spoke for just about a minute. Let me give Raman and Mamta Kale another chance. Yes, Mr. Francisco, you want to say something, sir, because you spoke just for a minute. I'm coming across to you. Yes, Mr. Francisco, you've heard everyone.
I want to say only one thing.
Yes.
The family wants the justice to be there. So they want to see that the government, whether this police or CBI, finally what they want is justice, so that all these people who are involved in this, they are exposed and they are punished.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that this should be given to CBI.
So, but I'll tell you another popular. There is a fear. Yeah, there's a fear. There's also a fear. Savio, I have to go to the next debate. Savio, I have to go to the next debate, but I'll just give 30 seconds to Mamta and Raman. There is also a fear that if the CBI gets the case, whether the case will actually slow down. There's another fear, and that's a genuine fear. Raman Malik.
And whether the CBI
one thing is there that there are certain people who are more interested. There are certain people who are more interested to make it about their petty politics here. They are not understanding the very fact. Please, I did not disturb you. Do not show me what you can do. Otherwise, we can also do the same. We are over here to discuss about. We are here to discuss about the death of a mother of a worker from our party. Please understand, there are a lot of people like us, people like me.
Okay, I have to end the debate.
Shut up in between! Stop talking crap! Stop talking crap! And wait and listen to the facts. That there are people who are grieving, people like me who have worked with her for 8 years. We have worked together. We are grieving. You have to understand that we want justice. But then do not make it about your petty politics. It is not about Goa politics.
Okay, sir, I
It is
agree.
about a mother dying, a child losing
Savio says the goal was scored in Goa.
the father.
So investigation has
Okay, I need to go to the next debate. Raman Manik. Raman Manik, I agree with you. The family needs to get justice. Let's see where the story goes. I want to get Mamta Kali 30 seconds. I have to end the debate. Mamta, 30 seconds and I'll end the debate. Yeah.
All I want to say is that all of us should, come on a common platform and seek justice for Sonali Phogat and not play politics over this. And we should be standing by the family, and we should be standing with the family. The family from the day one has been saying that it is a case of sex, drugs, rape and dhokha. And,
Yes,
and
they
the
have.
key conspirator is the PA. So why can't we just, simply say that we want justice for Sonali and her daughter? For God's sake, being a woman, that's all I am pleading and requesting each one of you. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's go on. Let's move on to our second subject we're looking at very closely on the biggest story tonight. Thank you, Savio, Mr. Francisco, Vijay, Mamta and Raman. Story will continue. After a video that was cited to claim that China's PLA, the People's Liberation Army, was engaged in construction work at the line of actual control near Arunachal Pradesh. Of course, on their side, Indian Army sources confirming that this video was recent, and the video accessed by Republic TV was shot by